Hello and welcome to Your Body Fix. Lesson number 1, Nutrition, the Formula for Success, presented by Kenny Mack of Empowered Recreation. The program mission is to provide each of you with the nutrition information that is educational and focused on helping you understand the value of healthy eating and integrating habits for success into your life. Your Body Fix, this is class number 1, Nutrition, the Formula for Success. Next week we'll be doing class number 2, the thermic effect of food and how to turn on your body's engine. And class number 3, strategies for creating balance. Okay, so this is a 3-part series. We'll be bringing you each class each week. Okay, let's get started. What we're covering today, why nutrition is so important, symptoms of poor nutrition, why most programs are failing, the correct formula, Food 101, 8 keys to success, balanced meals. Okay, so number 1, why is nutrition so important? It's essential to increasing your energy. A lot of times we eat, but we're not necessarily eating to feed the machine. We want to treat our bodies like a machine. It's just a performing machine, a high-performing machine. And if you're going to be feeding it with proper nutrition, it's going to operate at a much higher level. Think of putting like 85 gas in versus 93. Another reason nutrition is so important is because it's required to stimulate your metabolism. Okay, that starts with breakfast in the morning, getting that metabolism jump started for your day, keeping your engine burning hot throughout the day with frequent meals. Okay, I'll get into that. Providing your body with nutrients required to build lean muscle. Okay, there's macronutrients and there are micronutrients, and I'll get into explaining a little bit about what those are. They're both important parts of building lean muscle, which also is a fat-burning machine. Improving long-term health and preventing disease, benefits of eating well. I mean, think of the people that you know that eat well and they're aging well into their 80s and 90s versus the people that didn't take such good care of themselves and they maybe didn't even make 60 or 70. Okay? So and this is establishing the foundation for lifetime results. This is, we named our business Empowered Recreation, and a lot of that is giving people the tools so that they can eat properly for the remainder of their life and affect their children and all the other people they come in contact with that they have influence on how they should eat as well, or how they could eat to optimize their lifetime, the quality of life that they have and the length of life that they have. Okay? Symptoms of poor nutrition. Okay, these are examples. If you deal with these, then you should take a serious look at your nutrition. You got slow metabolism. It's going, it's not burning enough energy. Low energy. Fatigue, slow recovery. That's, if in the first week you're sore after each workout, sure. 2 weeks, sure. But if 3 months into it you're still very sore after each and every workout and you're not recovering very well, and then that second workout of the week is not so good, you got to have a very long, serious look at your nutrition. Okay. Energy highs and lows, poor sleep. So if you're not eating or sleeping well, then you're not going to sleep, or then you're not eating very well. It's possible. Sugar cravings, frequent colds, flu, etc. High cholesterol, high blood pressure. These are definitely symptoms of poor nutrition. Pre-diabetes, I should have had that on here too. Cramping, muscle aches, signs of poor nutrition. And then of course you've got poor gains in strength and endurance. When I talk about feeding the machine, if your machine's not working optimally, and you got to take a good look at putting what kind of gas you're putting into your tank. Okay. Why most programs are failing. You have an incomplete nutrition program. You feel bad. Results are too slow. It's frustrating. I've dealt with clients that aren't getting the results, and then they want to get frustrated with me. And all I can say is, have you been meal tracking? Because if you haven't, I can point to exactly why you're not getting the results. Okay? Incomplete nutrition or negative side effects. Too hard to follow. There's confusion. Going back to the incomplete nutrition and negative side effects. So if you're on a program like an HCG, or you've heard of some of these ladies taking some of these other ones too. It's not teaching you habits for a lifestyle change that you can sustain. Remember, we talked about lifetime success in this. HCG, sure, for 6 weeks or whatever it is, you'll lose a bunch of weight, but because you're creating a negative caloric intake. But negative side effects are you're going to gain the weight back if you're not active, and you don't learn how to eat properly. You're just going to go right back to your old habits and not continue to get results. That would result in program failure. Too hard to follow, confusion, slowing your metabolism because you're yo-yo dieting, kind of like the HCG that I just mentioned. You lose a bunch of weight, then you gain a little bit more. Then you lose a bunch of weight, then you gain it all back, plus a little bit more. So your yo-yo is going down in weight and right back up in weight. Okay, and lack of professional guidance. That's what we're here for. That's what you seek professional help when you need help. When you need that guidance. When you don't exactly know, it takes a lot of strength to admit where you need help and then to seek that out and get it. Okay? You think of all the great leaders in life, they've all had professional guidance. They've all had great leaders and great people in front of them showing them the way. Okay? And lack of accountability. That's holding yourself accountability. That's coming when you say you will, even if it's not convenient. I posted a quote on Facebook today that said something about persistence is doing the thing that you said you'd do. Or no, accountability is the thing of doing the thing you said you'd do long after the mood that you were in is gone away. And that's holding yourself accountable. That's doing the hard things. That's doing the little things. That's doing the things that are right. Okay? The vicious cycle. Okay, here we are, yo-yo dieting in a diagram. Okay, so let's start with the light circle here on the right-hand side, diet. Okay, so you decrease your calorie intake, and your body shows off a famine response, meaning, I've got to start saving this energy. I've got to start conserving turn all of my energy sources into fat, because fat is a very efficient energy source. Now I'm increasing in calories because I've fallen off of my famine response. I couldn't possibly persist and maintain starving myself or reducing my calories. So now I'm going to feast. I'm going to go nuts until I feel better, until I feel that hole in my stomach. And then then I'm gaining weight. Then I'm overweight. I'm going to repeat this, going on and on, this vicious cycle. Diet, and I starve myself, then I can't possibly maintain it, so I eat too much, and then I repeat the whole thing. And it's going to really wear out your metabolism, reduce metabolic rate, loss of muscle, regain of weight from fat. Then you lose weight from lean muscle and fat. Your reduced metabolic rate because your energy levels are so low, and then you store that fat. Okay, that's yo-yo dieting. That's a nice diagram for you. The correct formula is that when you prevent muscle loss, you will protect metabolism. Muscle equals metabolism. Okay, I like to talk about Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime would burn 2,500 calories per day at rest. To keep that in perspective, most of us are between 12 and 1,500. If you're super lean and athletic, then you're around the 1,500, maybe 2,000. But Arnold was so big, so massive, so much muscle that he would burn 2,500 at rest. Okay, and then that will result in enhanced fat loss, leading to weight loss and inch loss, strength gain, toned up, all of the benefits that come from a healthy lifestyle. Okay, I mentioned earlier macronutrients and micronutrients. Those are just the different. Macro just means that you need it on a large scale. Okay, so a lot of our energy comes from, or most of it comes from protein, carbs, and fats. Protein is an amino acid, which is a building block, okay? 1 gram of protein equals 4 calories. Carbohydrates, or you have simple and you have complex. The simple carbs have been refined. They've been broken down through some kind of processing. They're less healthy for you. The complex still has a lot of fiber to it. They're both energy, so carbs are your energy source, so that's why a low-carb diet is not necessarily always the best idea. Yes, you want to reduce your carb intake, but not necessarily just quit it cold turkey. A gram of carb is 4 calories. And then you have fats. You have saturated fats, monounsaturated fats, and polysaturated fats. 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. So a good way to remember is 944. Fats have 9, and the other 2 have 4. Okay, then there's also alcohol, which has 7. I didn't put that on here. Alcohol has 7, but a caveat about alcohol is that it makes you choose more fats. Okay, more poor choices when you have alcohol in your system. Simple carbs versus complex carbs. Okay, simple carbs are single sugar molecules such as fructose, or 2 bonded sugar molecules such as sucrose with a fructose and a glucose molecule together. Complex carbs are made up of sugar molecules that are strung together in long, complex chains. The majority of the carbs that you eat should come from this group. Okay, and a simple example would be white rice would be your simple carb. It's been processed, it's been unhusked. And then your complex carb would be the brown rice, which still has the husk on it. Okay, it's still intact. It hasn't been put through some process to reduce to make it a more simple sugar, simple carb. Types of fat. Okay, lots of big words. All I'm going to say about this slide is you want to keep your saturated fats and your monounsaturated fats to a minimum. One way that you can tell if fat is less healthy for you is the thicker it is at room temperature. So if it's solid at room temperature, that would be a saturated fat. The monounsaturated fat is a little bit healthier for you. They're liquid at room temperature, like your vegetable oils, your olive oil. And then your healthier fats, the healthiest ones you can get are your flax oil, your fish oil. Trans fats are basically vegetable fats that have been changed chemically by a process known as hydrogenation. Okay, a chemical process of making fat. That's pretty bad. That's a bad part of what all the processing that we do with our food. Okay, examples of bad fats. You can check these here. Cheeses, milk, cream, butter. A lot of these are just, they contain dietary cholesterol. Saturated fat is the main dietary cause of high blood cholesterol. The American Heart Association recommends that you limit your saturated fat intake to 7 to 10% of your total calories or less per day. And that's calories, remember, not grams. Examples of good fats would be your flaxseed meal, hemp seeds, walnuts, avocados, okay, your tunas, your fish. Examples of good fats. Micronutrients are your non-energy yielding nutrients we need for bodily functions. We need these on a small scale. Okay, micronutrients meaning small. Your vitamins, which are either fat soluble or they're water soluble. Fat soluble meaning that if you get too many of it, the excess is gonna be stored as fat, be stored in your fat, rather than if you get too much of like a vitamin B or something, you'll just pass it in your urine. That's fat soluble versus water soluble. You don't want to get more than 100% of your daily value of a fat soluble vitamin. Okay, so beware of that. It's water soluble, sure, no problem, you'll just pee it out, any excess. Minerals are another example of a micronutrient. Alright, Food 101, water. Water, the human body is made up of 60 to 70% of water, so that'd be a good thing to replenish. Make sure that the body has everything that it needs to be working properly. A good way to think about it is drinking 0.55 times your lean body mass. So if you're a 100-pound person with only 10% body fat, then that would be 90 times 0.55. I know there's not many people that small, however, there are some that are that small. And I did that simply for the math, so it's easy to do the math. Okay? So your lean mass, not your minus your weight minus your body fat in pounds, and then times that by 0.55. Okay? Another good rule of thumb is, 64 ounces on a regular day, and if you're active, double that. Okay? 8 keys to success Increase your meal frequency. Strive for 5 to 6 mini meals each day. Eat balanced meals, lean proteins, healthy fibers, carbs, fruits, veggies, good fats, and fiber. Portion control and balance are keys to success. I've got a couple diagrams later here that talk about portion control and balance. Drinking lots of water. Drink enough water each day to stay properly hydrated. Okay, taking a multivitamin mineral supplement each day. Knowing which ones to take and taking them for the right reasons. If you take a multivitamin and don't notice any difference, then it's probably not the best multivitamin that you could be taking. If it's something that you just got at the drugstore on the cheap, I would rethink that process, because think of what your body is. It's what you put into it. Do you want to just be a cheap body, or do you want the high quality body? That's why I always take GMP certified high quality food, or high quality supplements. Using bars and shakes for convenience and meals on the go, rather than getting stuck having to go through a drive-through, because if you don't eat something, you're going to strangle somebody. Okay? Rather keep something on deck so that you have it. Always taking a recovery shake after every workout. That's very important. Resupplementing the protein stores. And learning to listen to your body. Okay? If you really shouldn't push it, then don't push it. If you're on borderline for an injury, then don't push it. You know, it's better that you make it back the next day than try to move a mountain in one day. Slow, steady, consistent is going to win the race in the long run of you managing your body and taking care of your program. Okay, taking care of your body with a good program. Okay, balanced meals. Remember I said I had a diagram. If you look at the salad on the left, that's your average Caesar salad, okay? 560 calories for that little bowl. And when you look at what you have on the right, you can have some of that black bean soup, the 5-grain roll, the mixed salad, the bowl of fruit with the cubes of melon, and then also the 5-ounce sorbet, all for less than 560 calories. Only 410 rather, okay? So it's not necessarily the amount of food all the time. It's what you're eating, and if you're eating smart. And this puts it in perspective. Next time you go to the restaurant, don't go for the Caesar just because it tastes delicious. Think of how many other calories you're going to be eating, okay? The Yankee Doodle Dandy, you've got half a hot dog. I don't know anybody who eats just half a hot dog or a third a cup of macaroni salad. There's no way. If I got into that food, I would be eating 3 of those, okay? 530 calories on the left or the 530 calories on the right. What's going to be more fulfilling? What's going to make your engine burn better? Okay, look at that. The shrimp, the asparagus, the portobello. Look at all of that food. It looks delicious. Okay, moving forward. Here's the balanced meals. You're talking about your chocolates. You can always find the 1 pack of sugar-free chocolate caramels, 360 calories. The semi-sweetened chocolate-covered raisins, another 540. The 3 reduced fat chocolate wafers, 240 calories, for a total of 1,140 calories. That's way too many. When you really just need the chocolate fix, then some healthy options here on the right. You've got the 12-ounce frozen yogurt. You've got the low-cal chocolate shake, the 3 frozen fudge bars, the mug of low-cal hot chocolate, 2 Tootsie Pops, and some chocolate kisses, all from about half of what you have on the left-hand side. Okay, so here's a good chance for you to reconsider what are your goals. Success has to start with a goal in mind and a plan to reach that. Okay, what's your commitment level? Are you just trying this out, or are you actually going to follow through? Are you going to do what you say you do? Are you going to hold yourself accountable? Are you going to follow through with, what your plan is? Motivation. What's your motivation? Why are these goals important to you? Is it because you want to drop a dress size just because? Or is it, do or die? Is it something serious? Or is there an emotion that you can tie it to that will make it more impactful, more reasons for you to show up? And then, take a good look. What obstacles do you see in your way? Can you give yourself a real honest look at what's coming up? Do you see yourself succeeding in this? How do you visualize the challenge that's before you? Okay? We would review the nutrition success worksheet. I want you guys' homework to write down everything that you eat this week and bring it in with you. Look through your household foods, and next week, you can email me in any labels that you'd like to discuss for the next class. So over the next week, just email me any labels. Coming next class is what is metabolism? Sugar, how much is too much? The glycemic index, insulin response, components of energy expenditure, how to read labels, and basic meal planning. Okay? I hope you have picked up some good information. This was short and sweet. I got a lot done quickly. Thanks for your time. Kenny Mack from Empowered Recreation. Have a good evening.